Hey, welcome to Taskforce Geek. My name is Dirk Hooper, and everything's going to go wrong tonight. My first, joining me tonight is Scott Prime.
Howdy.
Say howdy. And Shawn.
Yep.
And our buddy Walt.
How you doing, everyone?
Contributing partner. Walt, not a guest. He's one of our own. How about that? Walt, do you want to talk a little before we get going? Do you want to talk a little bit about something that you're doing right now, or do we want to wait on that?
Let's wait on that one. I want to wait on that one.
All right. I wasn't sure if we were clear to talk about it or not. He's got a super secret project.
Super secret.
We will get the deets on that at another time.
You were trying to narc on at the beginning of the show.
Yes. Well, I wasn't sure if it was super secret and we could share it, or was super secret and I shouldn't talk about it. I would make a terrible spy.
We'll just say it's kind of secret.
Super.
Yeah, it must be, because I don't even know what the hell it is.
We've already got comments. We just started. Ronnie is watching. Hello, Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie.
Sounds so creepy.
Let's go to that. All the stories we're talking about tonight were shared on the Taskforce Geek Facebook group and the Taskforce Geek Quora space. Join us on either of those communities to get a preview of what we could be talking about. That Taskforce Geek Quora space, which is right there, has over 525,000 followers, none of which are on our YouTube channel. We are broadcasting live on the facebook.com /Dirk Hooper. That's my deal. And for the first time ever, we're also broadcasting on Twitch. How about that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad. Let's see. Oh my gosh, we got people chiming in like crazy. The comments are going crazy already.
Oh gosh.
Let's see.
No, you can't borrow $5.
Right. Wow. Right.
I think
we don't have it.
Jim must be high because he said I'm kind of here.
Well, that would not be unusual. That would not be unusual for
It
Jim.
is Jim.
It is Jim.
Hey, where's our share team? If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, then please share this. Then your platform becomes our platform. That's what we want. Before we get started on this thing, I want to talk about Prime Reviews, which we have 2 episodes of Prime Reviews out. And the first episode of Prime Reviews is our #1 thing for this month on YouTube. How about that?
I am a handsome, attractive man. That's like double pretty.
Now double pretty. That's what you need on your license plate is double pretty.
Wow.
So anyway, congratulations on that. And if you want to see it, go to our YouTube page, which I'm not even going to put up there. I'll put it up there.
There you go.
Write that down real quick. Okay, we're done. If we could get like 10 people to follow us on that YouTube thing, we could finally say
how many people do we have left to go before we can get that?
It's really not much. It's
less than 15.
Yeah,
because I know it
13,
was
14.
Yeah, it was something like that last week.
Oh my gosh, let's see what all is going on here before I get to our big reveal. Walt is there to bring some class to you boys. By the way, we originally supposed to have Casey Jane on here tonight, and she had some personal issues to take care of, but she will be on here at another time. Steve says, greeting, gents.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
Jim says, as Scott said, I'm kind of here. Marianne says, hello. Hello, Marianne.
Hello.
Jerry says, hello. And
hello, guys.
Shawn wants to talk about The Mandalorian.
Shawn always gives us subjects. We need to find a time that Shawn can be like the remember in WWE years back, they had the general manager that was the secret computer. Shawn could be the guy that gives us random topics. Or like the secret GM. He was just this computer.
I remember that.
What would be cool is if Shawn and everyone else, when I put out the things and say, hey, do you have an idea for some topics or something? You know,
that'd be the time to respond, right?
Reply to us and say, hey, here's some topics. Here's some questions or comments that we have. And then we'll put it in the show.
Well, Dirk, I hate to tell you this. I've done a podcast now for 7+ years and with over 100 episodes. And when you ask for feedback, you get about this much if you're lucky.
I know. I've done podcasts with very, very attractive women. And even then, I don't get anything. I get nothing whatsoever. So I don't know what
they probably do, but you don't.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, they're not giving us constructive criticism, as you say, Scott. All right. we're going to go to our first segment. Here it is. Are you guys ready? The big reveal. Our first segment is called Red Alert. Hey,
that's
dig
kind
that.
of groovy. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
You guys
all
jamming
must
out?
be like kindred spirits because we're the only guys that were grooving, and you and Shawn were just stale.
I'm just staring at the screens, trying to make sure that I don't hit the wrong button. That's really where I am right now. Shawn, did you have something that you needed to say? You looked like a man who needed to make a comment.
It'll wait.
All right. Fortnite maker Epic Games sent shockwaves through the tech industry this week when it sued Apple and Google, claiming both companies' app stores are monopolies. If Epic were to win the lawsuits, Apple and Google could be required to overhaul their business by making their app stores more favorable.
Somebody glitched out. Go back to making their app stores. You glitched out on us, bro.
Oh, okay. If Epic were to win the lawsuits, Apple and Google could be required to overhaul their businesses by making their app stores more favorable to developers. The controversy arose Thursday when both Apple and Google kicked Fortnite out of their app stores. The companies claimed Epic violated their guidelines by announcing a way for players to buy in-game currency outside of their proprietary payment systems. The gaming company was prepared for battle. Epic quickly filed its suits, released a video parodying Apple's iconic 1984 ad, which was pretty awesome if you haven't seen it, casting Apple in the role of villain. It also threw Google's, quote, "don't be evil," unquote, slogan back at the tech company and accused the firm of having relegated its motto to nearly an afterthought. Who wants first?
Ooh.
Don't jump on it. I'm going to Walt first.
Ooh. This is I didn't get to read the whole everything about that, but when somebody throws your own words back in your face,
yeah,
you are on the wrong.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
So true.
when somebody does that, as Flava Flav once said, I try to help y'all I can, but I can't do nothing for you, man.
Wow. We got, are you saying that we're going to get a Flava Flav quote here early in the broadcast?
Yeah.
That's class.
Who wants next? Let's go, Scott.
Oh, man, I don't have really much to say on this at all. I think this is just a bunch of rich people grasping at their more rich dollars. So,
correct.
I really don't have much to say on this at all. I don't download a lot of apps or anything, so me even speaking on it really is just
you only play Rocket League anyway.
I only play Rocket League, so I'm just give me some Rocket League. And anyways, it's just, to me, it's just a bunch of rich people trying to just grab more of the pie because they probably can and have the power, and they're probably not wrong. From what I've read of that article, it does sound like those companies probably monopolize the app, market. So they're probably not wrong.
All right. Shawn, what do you have to say?
I've been reading about this stuff for a few weeks now, actually a few months, I think. The Fortnite was basically being, for lack of a better word, being bent over a barrel. Like anything with the Apple Store, they try to, pigeonhole you into doing exactly what they want you to do, not what you want to do. Which is why I don't own any Apple products. They really try to put the screws to Fortnite. So Fortnite was really looking at any way they could get kind of around just giving a bunch of money to Apple and Google and whatnot to kind of keep more of their own income. And so I kind of foresaw this getting to this point. I didn't know how it would come about, but the litigation, it was all written on the wall. It was going to happen. it was just a matter of time.
Marianne says she hadn't gathered much info. And by the way, hello to Betty and Shawn. It's okay. We're just kidding with you. Marianne says, I haven't gathered much info, so I could be wrong here what's going on. But doesn't Epic already make enough money on Fortnite as it is? Yes.
Yeah, of course they do.
The answer to that is that you have a billion-dollar corporation, a multi-billion-dollar corporation in Epic who is whinging about stuff that multi-trillion-dollar companies in Google and Apple are doing, and that's the bottom line because Dirk Hooper said so.
It's like a bunch of companies, like a bunch of buffet lines arguing about who needs more food. It's like you're a buffet.
It is absolutely doing that. So I did a little research, and I'm going to take kind of a look from above. Basically, Apple and Google with iOS and Android are you sitting down, 98% of the mobile market. That is the very definition of not a monopoly, but a duopoly. So there are two companies that completely control. If you have a phone that is a smartphone, then it is either an Android phone or an iOS phone, and they are battling back and forth on who has 50% of the market, but it's basically between the two of them, they have 98%. The rest of it is owned by whatever, BlackBerry and Microsoft and people in Bangladesh or something. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. So basically they own all of the platforms and they are walking in lockstep with each other. Google and Apple are working together because they run the show. I have no tears for Epic Games though, because, basically what they're doing is they're saying that they don't want to pay Apple the 30% on extra special hats or emotes or making your character dance or whatever. Apple and Google wants their 30% cut of that. And Epic just doesn't want to pay that anymore. And they don't have a lot of leverage. Apple has responded to this by saying that they are going to deny developers the ability to use Unreal Engine. So now this stuff just got real because not only is Fortnite going to be taken off of the platform, but if you use Unreal Engine, and a lot of people do, many different companies use Unreal Engine to create their video games, then they will also not be able to be on the App Store any longer.
Because Unreal is owned by Epic.
Unreal is owned by Epic and is a much bigger thing than Fortnite because they are basically they are the platform with which all of these different games are using to do all their fancy graphics and stuff. So again, I don't care if Epic doesn't get as much money. They literally make $1 billion a month. Epic is being greedy. Apple and Google are being greedy. I think the thing that we should be most concerned about is the fact that Apple and Google own everything. Yep. And a bigger issue is if they own everything, they own us. And if we are concerned about privacy and about them selling our information to the dark web or wherever the heck it is, then we need to the only recourse that we have right now is to talk to our individual governments and ask them to put a big fat thumb on the top of those two companies. Otherwise, in science fiction movies where they have evil corporations that like run the earth, well, we have that now, and their names are Google and Apple. So our only recourse is to apply to our evil governments and ask them to whinge their arm a little bit. So that's what I have to say on that subject.
Word.
Hello to Maxine.
Hey, Mom.
Does anyone have anything else they want to say on this subject, or you want to get out of this and talk about DC?
Well, like you said, just about everybody uses the Unreal Engine, and if Unreal can't get on Google or Apple, then
it just got real.
Unreal
just got real,
right? And either way you put it, no matter what side, either side's going to shoot itself in the foot. I mean,
yeah.
Epic could say, okay, fine. Pull us.
There's no winners, right? There's no winners here. I mean, look, I think that Epic's going to lose this thing bad.
There's an example I want to give. Whenever I worked in sportswear, we had what was called we worked with the CLC, or Collegiate Licensing Company. Now, if you wanted to produce a graphic for, say, Oklahoma University, you had to submit that artwork to CLC and pay CLC for them to review your artwork, for them to take the graphic and push it on over to the University of Oklahoma, and then agree that everything was cool, back to CLC, and then back to you. Now, what that did was you created a third party that did nothing. They literally did nothing.
Exactly.
But you had to pay them a portion of your profits for them to do nothing. They existed to do nothing.
Comics code. Comics code.
We contacted the university with some of our graphics, sent them directly to the promotions department, and everything got cleared. Everything was approved. Everything was fantastic, just to cover our bases. And then we submitted it to CLC, who then said, nope, this is all, none of this will fly. The university is going to deny all of it. To which this was all just an experiment to see exactly what it was that CLC did, which was nothing. They did nothing. So that's the situation that you have here. You have Epic, who is creating this stuff, and you have Apple, who is just offering a platform for that stuff to be sold to the general populace. Now, with Apple saying that we're not going to accept anything that uses the Unreal Engine, well, as you stated, an ungodly amount of gaming companies utilize Unreal Engine. Who's going to be hurt by this? Is it going to be Epic, or is it going to be Apple? I don't think that the Epic is going to completely lose this, as you say. I think this is going to hurt Apple just as badly, maybe not financially, but it's going to hurt them equally as well as it's going to hurt Epic. I don't know if anybody in particular is going to fold. I think this is just Apple puffing up and saying, you know, we're your master, do what we tell you to, and Epic's going to say, you know, bite me. And
it's theater.
It is. It's basically just people.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not shedding a tear for anyone except for us.
Yeah,
for having
we're the losers here.
Having a market that is 98% controlled by two companies. That's a problem. That is not capitalism. That is
monopolism.
Yeah. Yes. And Ken says the lawyers are going to win. Boy, you got that right.
Yes.
I promise the lawyers
always win.
I'll guarantee you the CEOs don't give two flips about this. I guarantee you that none of the board members give two flips about this. This is just the lawyer saying, well, we need to justify our reason for existence. So let's throw a lawsuit at the wall.
If Epic comes out where they're going to only pay 25% instead of 30%, that will be a big win for them. And that may be what they're gambling for. Mm-hmm. They get to keep a few extra measly, silly dollars because the billions they made last month are not enough.
Hey, if it goes into my retirement, I don't care.
Well, it might if you have a 401k with Epic Games in there.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. We're going to go to our next segment. It's called The Biz. How about it? All right. Ever since the news about mass layoffs at senior level of DC Comics leaked and was then confirmed, there have been questions about what happens next in what was intended to be an interview about the upcoming DC Fandom event with Boris Kidd of The Hollywood Reporter, DC publisher and CCO Jim Lee talked about the cuts to the staff and to the comic books. Boris states that the layoff number of 20% of staff, which is lower than the 30% rumored elsewhere, but those 20% are heavily weighted to the senior staff within the publisher. So the year's experience loss will be far higher, which may explain a larger cut to the comic book numbers. Jim Lee states, quote, "That said, we will be reducing the size of the slate, but it's about looking at everything and looking at the bottom 20 to 25% of the line that wasn't breaking even or was losing money. It's about more punch for the pound, so to speak, and increasing the margins of the books that we are doing. It was about aligning the books to the franchise brand content we've developed and making sure that every book we put out for a reason," unquote. Who wants this first? Let's go to Scott.
Okay. I read all this. I mean, Jim Lee's playing a good story. They cut a bunch of books. They cut a bunch of people. They're in trying to recover mode. He's pushing this whole thing of we're still going to produce books and we're going to do them online. And sure, they can do them online because they can pay maybe less talented people. Or let's just say they come at one of us and say, "Hey, Scott, would you like to do this Batman and the Outsider story for DC Comics?" And I'd go, "Sure." And they'll go, "We're only going to pay you pennies." And I go, "I don't care. I just want the credit." Right. And then they can try me out online. And if the book does well on downloads online, then they can decide if it's worth their time to publish it through Barnes and Noble and places like that. This is a bunch of crap. This is just, this is one of those things where like you go like, "Hey, I'm letting everybody know I'm selling my house. And you heard that I was going to sell my house because I just don't have any money." But then I go, "I'm selling my house because I need to downsize because we have too much stuff anyways as people. I don't need a house. Why do I need 3 rooms and a living room? My life is fulfilled either way. I just need 1 room and like to eat fast food every day. I'm fine." Bunch of crap. That's what it is. And they're going to try to sell you that what they're doing is on purpose and it's focused. It's called how you market stuff. It's like, I say this to every independent comic person out there. I'm going to give away a little secret here for the people that are watching. If you can only afford to publish 200 comics because you're a small independent guy, you market that as when you go to conventions or you sell them online as only 200 in the print run. And all of a sudden people's mind go, "Whoa, that's a collectible." Not, "This guy's so poor he can only afford 200. Right?
Right. You use it as an advantage.
Exactly.
It's damage control. I don't still think they know what they're doing. They're just regrouping and trying to say something fancy before too many rumors get out there. What we're going to see from DC is a bunch more Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman books over and over and over and over and over again because they know they'll sell.
Yep.
And them acting like they're planning to take it to another market. At this point, I don't care. Because like if the book is good, you put good people on your books, they'll sell. That's a lot of it. When you keep rehashing the same crap, you're not going to get good sales. And I read a lot of crappy comics that I enjoy, but I know why they get canceled because they're not great for the masses. I mean, like all this is just stupid dreck to me. I mean, let's just do something cool, do something awesome. Well, you're not. I mean, it's just that simple.
All right, Shawn, what do you think?
We've been talking about this for a while. We knew this was going to happen, and it's not going to stop at 25. It may stop at 75. But yeah, this is Jim Lee's doing damage control. He's trying to swerve everybody off of what's actually going on, and good on you.
Yeah, good for Jim Lee. He has a lot of investment. He got to keep his job.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think everyone likes Jim Lee. Am I wrong?
I mean, this boat's not sinking. We just wanted a pool on this day. Bullshit.
He did it. He cursed. He finally cursed.
Simmer down now.
This just makes me mad.
Simmer down now. Simmer down.
Dang it.
But you're right, man.
I've been so good for 18 episodes.
Yeah,
You have. You've been awesome.
You know what? It started with the new 52. when you think about it. It started with the New 52, and I'll go with what Todd McFarlane said when they asked Todd McFarlane about it. He goes 52 books at one time. He goes, this is going to fail. He goes, they've already shot their wad. Nobody got to enjoy anything.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, there was no planning from then on, and then it's been damage control ever since the New 52. So
you got a great point, Walt, because if you're a new guy who goes, I've never read DC Comics, they're resetting, I'll try it out. You can't afford 52 new books.
You can't afford 52 new books.
No,
you can't afford 52 new books.
Even if you could afford it, you don't have, who has the time to read 52 books a month?
And then on top of that, you know, with it being an enclosed universe, they effed up the timeline. So you have, you know, Justice League is the big opening book for the whole thing, but it happens 5 years after every other book is hitting #1. It's like, so how are you gonna fill this up?
These are all true things.
And Shawn, I mean, it's crazy.
Shawn, did you get to say your piece? Because we kind of interrupted.
I mean,
you.
it's all, like I said, we've been talking about this for a while. This isn't a shock to anyone. This isn't news.
Actually, it justifies everything that we've said.
Oh yeah.
Everything that we've been talking about for forever is actually coming into
fruition.
Right.
So yeah, this is nothing. This is
what's that? It took 8
fake
years.
News. This is fake news.
Fake news.
What was that? It took 8 years. Was it 2012 when they did the New 52? So
that sounds about right.
So
maybe a couple of years later.
Yeah. So it was going to happen. It was going to happen sooner or later.
They were just about to do a new thing called Generations, where they upscaled everyone's age. So Batman was going to be older and Superman was going to be older, and then they were going to have their kids and all that sort of stuff. They were going to do the exact same thing again.
Yes, because I want superhero Partridge
and
Family.
Then,
that's what I'm going to read.
And then Warner Brothers laid the smackdown on that.
Or excuse me, AT&T.
By cutting or yes,
AT&T.
They're over AT&T, yes. I guess my thoughts on it is he said that they weren't going to publish comics unless they had a reason. Why would you publish comics without a reason?
Right.
What does that mean?
We've
got some stupid ideas.
We got
some
that
sounds.
We got some stamp paper and some ink back here. We might as well just put that, put that out there.
We don't really have a good reason, but we're just going to go ahead and put this out there. What is that?
For the last 20 years, we put out a bunch of crap and we didn't even think it was good.
Exactly. Why prop up books that aren't selling? That makes no sense whatsoever and explains so much.
Yes.
Instead of having your little pet projects and stuff and continuing to produce look, people vote with their dollars, folks. If they are not buying that 20 or 25% or 30 or 40% at the bottom of the barrel, stop publishing it. It's so simple.
Right.
Are you running a business? What are you doing?
Right.
How can you run a company and go, I guess we'll just go ahead and put out some comics that maybe people want to read?
Maybe.
That's our plan now. Our plan is to now mostly put out comics that people want to read. Thanks.
Well, I mean,
thanks.
From my time in the comic shop, we always knew that like DC Comics would pull the plug later on a book that wasn't selling versus Marvel. I mean, we always knew that. Like, well, this story might wrap up because if this was a Marvel book, they'd pull the plug and vice. So, anyways,
Amy says superhero Partridge Family.
Marianne
says, "Is it bad to say that she saw it coming?" I mean, the industry saw it. Everyone saw it coming.
Everyone saw it coming.
I mean, and it's the reckoning still needs to happen at Marvel. They're being propped up because Disney's doing great
right now. Marvel's watching all of this and just kind of going, "Oh crap!"
If I was Bob Iger and running Disney, I'd go, "Hey, let's do a little audit over there at Marvel Comics and see what's happening over there."
Yeah.
And see if they've got, some characters like Safe Space that they're trying to publish comics on.
Yeah, but the difference is Marvel, like movies, have been so successful, you can try out more books and see what sticks to the wall.
This is
right?
true too.
That's great.
It's like they're.
I mean, do try some stuff, but come on.
Right.
I think that's why Save Space and Snowflake and all that got shelved before it got produced.
Yeah, the backlash was pretty. Steve says I'm spicy tonight. am I?
I know one thing that
I'm hungry. I'm hangry.
As far as the comics go, that kind of got me from buying is the yearly major crossover.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got really. I mean, it was cool back in the day when it was like, oh, it's the annual crossover, okay, and it only ran in the annuals, and you didn't.
It was like a 64-page comic, and they had
that was fine. But when
artists and stuff,
but when you've got every comic going towards one big big storyline, every year.
Hey, can we take an aside and say congratulations? You're our first Twitch commenter.
Hey! Yay!
Welcome to the show. We at least have one person watching us on Twitch, so thank you.
If only we had like a button or something we could send.
Do we need to create some buttons or something?
Maybe we need to come up with something
like
real quick,
like
so
a Taskforce Geek Club or something.
Real quick, so we don't beat this subject to death with what Walt's saying.
Right.
The typical crossover these days, every year, usually once, twice, sometimes 3 times, are these big events with all these one-shot crossover things, and somebody mysteriously dies, so you're supposed to be shocked that they're going to be back in like 2 years, or maybe even resurrected before the thing ends, and it's nothing changes. They tell you everything's going to change, and nothing changes. The worst thing is like over the years, some of them had like really good artists and writers, and like they were very entertaining. Lately, they've still had good art, and I don't want to really knock the writers either, because I almost wonder if some of these guys get tasked to do this. Like, hey, Al Ewing, we want you to make the next big crossover, and he's like, well, I have this idea that I just wanted to put in my Avengers book. No, make it a crossover. We also need it to span out for like 51 shots. And he's going like, what? And they go, here's a bunch of money. And he goes, well, this feeds my kids. So I don't even know if it's his fault. I mean, like, it's kind of like at work. You want that promotion? We need you to talk to everybody and do this project. And you're like, I don't really want to do that, but I can't say no to the money, Just my thoughts.
Anyone have any other thoughts on this?
I'm good.
Marianne's talking about Twitch emotes. Is there something special on Twitch? I don't even know.
Oh, there's all sorts of little things on Twitch.
Well,
Marianne, we're all old, so most of us never go to Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, this is new in so many ways for us.
I'm on Twitch.
Walt the young guy.
On Twitch. He knows what's going on here. Oh, how about this? How about that? There's a Twitch emote. It's on, like Donkey Kong.
That's great.
Actually, I think I'm the oldest one in the room here.
Ken says,
yeah, but you look the youngest.
You look the youngest, so congratulations, buddy.
You're definitely,
as the guy at work says, black don't crack.
Wow.
You're definitely the skinniest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be here long after all of us leave this plane.
Wow. Unless we get to download ourselves into clones. And I'm ready for that anytime. And I want Chrome eyes.
Well, I don't want that.
I do. I got to have it.
You just gave Shawn a topic for a segment later.
For a segment that's coming up. He has so many. He could just fill that in with stuff about me. Marianne is worried about us. Roxas is trying to learn stuff, so here I am. I hope that we're teaching you something, because
I was going to say, hopefully
I don't know. I don't know for sure about that, but we do appreciate you chiming in.
Thank you very much.
Yes, welcome to the show.
All right. Well,
tell all your friends.
Consensus is that I can't say the word, but it is some adult music on our segments, and we're about to do that again. So here it comes. Here it comes, folks. Hey, on our time machine segment, we look back or we look forward. Today we're looking forward because Supernatural's Jensen Ackles, Ackles, how do you say this?
Yes.
Joins
I think it's Ackles.
any of the above. Joins The Boys season 3 as Soldier Boy. Supernatural star Jensen Ackles is joining The Boys in season 3. Eckles will play the pivotal role of Soldier Boy, the original superhero. After Soldier Boy fought in World War II, he became the first super celebrity and a mainstay of American culture for decades. So if you were a fan who always wanted to see Jensen Ackles kind of get to play Captain America, here's your chance. Jensen Ackles made the teasing announcement on his Instagram feed while sporting a gnarly quarantine beard. And Amazon Prime Video has confirmed that Eckles, The Boys season 3 casting with a full press announcement. I am going to go. Did someone win or what?
That's my cell phone.
Are you getting
Nice.
paid or is there?
No, I'm getting a text.
Are you making money?
People are buying
tips?
some apps from
And,
his Google store.
I'm getting a text and
Walt's making money on the fly here while we are talking.
Hang
He's
on.
making money.
No, actually, I'm getting a text,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you can see
Messages
that,
space.
but that's a little bit of us on Twitch.
Nice.
Ah, sweet.
There's a screenshot that comes from our viewer, Steve Shank.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Steve.
So
Awesome. You know, honestly, I mean, this was
he's
our
got
test.
us on. He's got us on all three.
I didn't run it.
YouTube,
That's great. That's great.
Facebook.
I didn't run a test on Twitch, so I didn't know if it was going to work, but it is. That's awesome. Very cool. Because Shawn and I watched a little bit of The Boys, I'm going to go, and because I know that Shawn knows Jensen Eckles pretty well, I'm going to go to Shawn first on this.
I'm really happy to see Jensen doing something beyond Supernatural. I know they've been talking about wrapping that up. I don't know if they've actually ended the series yet. I haven't seen the last couple of seasons, so I'm a little behind. But I'm really glad to hear that he's moving on to other projects and The Boys, as you stated. I just started watching The Boys. I think got to episode 3, 4, something. I don't know. And it's been enjoyable. I'm really liking everything about it. So I'm really curious to see his addition to The Boys and how that's going to play out in the storyline. I've never read The Boys. I saw it on the shelf, never picked it up. I had too much money going out on too many other books at the time. I really couldn't afford it. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. This is going to be cool.
Shawn, what do you think about The Boys so far? I mean, you're about halfway through the first season.
Like I said, I'm either 3 or 4 episodes. I think
That's about eight episodes, I think.
So so far it's been really interesting. It's not what I thought it would be. For whatever reason, maybe it was the advertisements, maybe it was the just the way they sold it. It seemed to be more of a dark comedy. Where there is comedy in the show, it strikes me as more of a drama.
It is, yeah,
with some humorous bits here and there.
It is humorous though.
But it like I said, when I originally saw the trailers and whatnot, I expected it to be a dark comedy.
Yeah,
and it is not a dark comedy. I don't feel the tone is very dreary, very pessimistic. You have a hero. Well, too bad he sucks. It's been a fun show so far. I'm eager to see season 2 next month, and I'm looking forward to how they take this.
All right, I'm going to answer a few of these podcast applications. We're using StreamYard. We're broadcasting from StreamYard. Maxine says it's not her this time. Well,
that's paging my phone.
Yeah.
So
I got it. I got it. I like that avatar, Maxine. And Ronnie says he wants a shout out to Carl Urban, who is truly awesome on that show. He's awesome, in everything, but he's really truly awesome on that show.
There's literally nothing I've seen Carl Urban in that I did not like Carl Urban.
Agreed.
The guy's just awesome. I wish he would have been able to play Jack Reacher. I talked about that before, but he would have been much more appropriate for the character based on the books. But whatever, I don't always win.
All right, we're going to you, Walt.
The Boys. I've watched it twice. I've watched the whole
You watched it
series
through twice. Cool.
I've watched it through twice. Never read the comic.
Because I'm sure Scott hasn't seen it. So
never read the comic book. I had like Shawn. I've seen it on the shelves, of course, but not enough money to go to pay for everything.
Right.
That's interesting. So, but yeah, as I said on the Facebook page, I was like, what? We're already getting cool selections for actors for season 3, and we haven't even seen season 2 yet. Come on.
Right.
how insane is that?
I know. I'm sitting here going, I can't wait for season 3. I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah, they're really bringing it with this announcement.
So I'm looking forward to it. So, and like Shawn says, it is not a dark comedy. It is a dark drama.
Yeah.
Very dark drama with some funny bits in it.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly does. Steve says Carl Urban is super underappreciated.
I totally agree
with that.
I
couldn't agree more on that. Scott, what do you have to say?
I think all of you guys have a bunch of man crushes on Carl Urban.
Dude, I'll fully admit it. I dig the crap out of that guy.
I will cop to that.
I think that guy's awesome. I've seen interviews outside of films. I've seen obviously his movies and whatnot. I think that guy's just awesome. He strikes me as just being a cool guy. I'm still waiting to find Almost Human on Blu-ray.
I was sold when he was Dr. Bones. So
All right.
I'm going back to Scott.
I haven't seen The Boys. I have no plans to see The Boys. It might be wonderful, but I'm not going to watch it.
You would love The Boys.
Hold on. I might be the only guy that read the comic.
Oh, okay.
And
that's super relevant.
I read it up to, I think, issue like 31, 32, and then I missed a couple of issues. I didn't quit reading it because I hated it. I quit reading it because I missed a few issues, couldn't find them at the time, and money was tight back in the day. So, I just went ahead and stopped when I thought I was going to pick them up on trades and stuff like that, and I never did. So I've read the comic. I know what you're talking about for the feel of it. At times it's funny and sometimes it's grim and dirty and stuff like that. So I do know what you're talking about. I just won't watch it. I'm pretty sure I got better things to do. So I have no.
Sure you do.
I mean, this. I do. I have lots of cool things to do, and I can't sit around and watch TV. So, Jensen Ackles looks like a really handsome guy. So you guys should be really happy, and I'm really happy for you guys that you can gander at him all the time. So enjoy.
Jim loves The Boys too. Scott, are you about to be eaten by a black hole? What happened to your lighting?
Well, I'm using natural light from the window, and
and so now it's gone down.
So the next time you move off me, it's going to lighten up in this room because I'm going to go sneak and turn on the lights. All
right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Who have we not talked to? We haven't talked to me. I don't really have much to say about this. I really like The Boys. I watched the full first season. I'm finally ahead on one of these subjects and really enjoyed it. And then I watched half the season again with Shawn. And actually, I enjoyed it more the second time around. I really enjoyed The Boys quite a bit. I'm very excited about the new season that's going to be coming up. I think in a week or two, something like that, we're going to get the next season. It's a lot of fun. Scott, I really think that you would enjoy it. I think anyone who kind of enjoys kind of the, a take on these superheroes and people who are hunting them, it's kind of an interesting concept. And Jensen Eckles. One of the things that drives me nuts, and we could put in one of our segments, is how we get the same jabronis over and over again who get I'm not going to be able to come up with their names because I can never, because they're forgettable, but there's the same 3 or 4 actors in Hollywood that continues to get roles over and over and over again, and I have no idea why they keep getting these roles. They are talentless, they're boring, they bring nothing to the roles, and yet they keep getting these roles. And then
because it's Hollywood kids that keep getting these same roles over and over again, maybe, dude.
Right? I mean, I don't know, but
except these aren't kids.
And then you look at someone like Jensen Eckles, who was on Supernatural. He's, as Scott says, a good-looking guy, and he's got some personality. He brings a little personality to his role. Why hasn't he been in movies and stuff up till now? I'm glad to see that he's going to be on The Boys. He will get a little bit of attention.
He was
hopefully
in the remake of My Bloody Valentine.
I did not know that. That's not a very big thing.
And that's why I added that.
Or as Nightwing, I think, didn't he want Nightwing's role?
He did some. Yeah, he did want that, and he did some voice work for Warner Brothers Animation. So the first, I think, Under the Red Hood, he was. He was the Red Hood in that, the voice.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and I've seen him do voice work. Oh, there's also the if you haven't seen it, the Supernatural anime series where he's doing his own voice in that too. So,
oh, okay. I mean, look, Supernatural's been on for
14 years.
14 years. So, I mean, he's not hurting or anything, but it's just, I look at the, like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't even get on this subject. I'm going to. On Farscape, Ben Browder was, I was a big fan of him. I have no idea why that guy didn't, graduate to other television roles or other movie roles. He's another good example of what I'm talking about.
He does have a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy too.
So
because what's his name? The director liked him just as much as I did. Ronnie says, "What do you do for a living, Scott Prime? Inquiring minds want to know."
Well, I fight a lot of crime at night. I scour the city of where I live, undisclosed
Scott
location
is
in
the
Oklahoma.
Night Avenger.
I am the Night Avenger. I'm also known as Big Fat Justice to some. I
chose the more attractive alter ego there. I'd like.
That's
to
all right. They're both mine. I own them both. Right.
All right. All right.
Here's the difference between. And I think this is safe to say, and that it's not knocking on any of these guys. The difference between Scott, Dirk, Shawn, and Walt is I have 2 children that keep me busy. They're now in they're grown up, so there's activities and volleyball. Like I almost missed tonight's show because like we had to go pick up a kid from volleyball practice. Luckily, the lovely Jennifer Bowen bailed me out and she picked up my child for me. So like stuff like that happens. So not only do I have children, I don't watch a lot of TV. When my kids aren't here, my TV rarely comes on. So I'm telling you guys right now, when we do that, what have we watched thing? And I've told you like 2 or 3 series that I've watched this year.
I know
that might be the most I've watched in 5 years.
I got it.
I mean, it's just, I just don't. I do waste my time in different ways. I read a lot of comics though too. I mean, like
you do.
I read quite a bit and probably more
you're
comics
by
than
far
all 3
our
of
gaming
them.
expert. So
and I play a lot of board games. So
yep.
So I do occupy my time in different ways.
Steve Shank points out Hayden Christensen. I mean, they didn't put Hayden Christensen in every damn movie, for the last 5 or 6 years. Shawn, help me with the actors that I'm talking about.
Before I do,
Ray Liotta.
I want to point. No, I want to point out that Hayden Christensen kind of got the short end of the stick.
I agree.
By being in the Star Wars films, he was poorly directed by George Lucas, who
was he?
Is
not a director.
Horrible at directing.
Not an actor-director.
Every single actor that's worked under him will tell you he is a horrible actor's director.
And you can tell that because there are good actors in those Star Wars films that acted poorly.
Yes, some Academy Award winners that did terribly. But he's had some other projects where he's actually been able to kind of stretch his wings, so to speak. And I think if given the right opportunity, Hayden Christensen could actually be a fantastic character in any movie that he worked on. I honestly, I think he gets the short end of the stick most of the time. Back to your other question. What was one of them? Jason Clarke. Is that correct?
That sounds correct. That is, ding, ding, ding. That is one of the nobodies that ends up being in every damn film. Jason Clarke. I can never remember his name. Who played Boomerang in the Suicide Squad film? Anyone?
Oh, yeah.
That guy's in too much stuff.
See,
who played Zod in The Man of Steel?
That's Michael Shannon.
That guy, Michael Shannon, is in too much stuff.
The guy that
maybe they work cheap.
The guy that played Boomerang,
he's growing on me, but he is mediocre at best.
When he was in,
why is that guy in everything?
When he was in Spartacus, he was. I thought he was great. I loved his character. I thought he was awesome. When he was in Jack Reacher, I thought that was a great character for him.
Thanks, Roxas.
I think
Jai Courtney.
Yeah, Jai Courtney.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
He's in too many films.
When he was in Terminator,
we could have put Jensen Ackles in some of his films.
When he was in Terminator Genesis, that was totally miscast.
Oh, wow. They really missed it hard on that.
That was terrible. That was terrible casting. Nothing against.
Jason Clarke played Kennedy.
Yes.
What? Why? What the hell? What?
Spicy.
He was also in Planet of the Apes. So, I mean.
What leverage do these actors have on the studio heads where they keep, because they're not, I mean, no one's clamoring for Jason Clarke movies, but there he is. He's in every damn movie.
Maybe they didn't go to Epstein's
Michael Shannon. How many? Michael Shannon is in 86 movies this year. Why?
They didn't go to Epstein's Island, so they're holding that over the
studio. I was trying to keep that.
Amy loves Michael Shannon.
Well, you're wrong. So there you go. Michael Shannon's horrible.
They all love that Jensen guy, Amy.
When
they
he
have
played,
a man crush on him and Carl Urban. I almost said Urban Carl.
Michael Shannon.
That's a different guy entirely.
Michael
Such
Shannon
an old man thing to do.
He's running a hot dog
Shannon
cart out on the side of the road.
What was it? Pearl Harbor. He played a kind of a dunce mechanic in Pearl Harbor, and I think that was the epitome of his acting ability.
All right.
Wow. All right, we're getting out of this. We're going back to our adult music here.
Our segue music.
Yes. All right, we got a new segment. It's called WTF. As you can tell, we like to bitch about stuff, so I'm just putting something in here so we can bitch about some things. What do you think? How about that? Who wants to go first on this? You can use it for whatever you want, man.
I think you are setting us up so people can get mad at like me and Shawn.
No, because when you guys bitch about stuff, it's funny.
people are usually mad at me anyway, so
it's entertaining.
All right, you want me to go first?
Yes,
I'll do
please. Oh, please. Please be our first WTF.
So I have very little experience playing online games, and maybe some of you people do. So you already understand this type of person, but I can only tell you from my experience. I play some Rocket League because for my lifestyle as a father, it allows me to play for 15 minutes and play a couple games and then get off, or play for a couple hours and make people, mad because I'm kicking their butts. Not really. Anyways, you play a game that's like little race cars. You're playing soccer, right? And people are on your team. And you might be up 2-0, your team. And I play these games with these morons I don't know. And we get scored on. It's 2-1 us winning. And these freaks quit. They leave the game right in the middle of it. Like, oh no, they scored. The game's over. And they'll do that when it's like 1-1. It might be a great match. 1-1. And the other team scores with 10 seconds left. The other guy just leaves. I'm done. Screw it. Screw it. It's over. We lost. But these people are doing it when you're up Sometimes you're up 3-1 and they just quit. What the hell? And if these are children and you're a parent of these children, you need to make them finish, because you know what life is full of?
Wow.
A ton of damn losses. You're going to lose.
Wow.
You're going to lose most of the time in life. And it's the losses that make you a better person, not the wins.
Wow.
Exactly, Marianne.
Marianne says they're rage quitters.
Oh.
I don't understand this mentality, because you know what? When I'm kicking somebody's butt in Rocket League and I have 5 goals in that rare match, I want them to stay around so I can enjoy it. And then when I'm getting beat and it's 0-10, you know what my goal is? Just try to score. Just try to score. Finish the game so they don't think I'm a rage quitter. Because
Scott.
I'm not some wuss. These people kill me. They kill me. And these are the same morons that this is why I like playing tabletop games, because you know what? If you start walking, like if we're playing a game, we're playing Everdell, and you you took all the twigs and now I can't build a crane, and you just get up out of my house and leave, you're never coming back. And I'm going to cuss at you as you leave and call you names, because that's what I do.
Wow.
Oh,
this is what I wanted when I said WTF. This is it.
Can I do the follow-up on that?
Wait a minute.
Sure.
I want to say, I know that Amy has chimed in here. She plays the Pokemon online game, and it drives her nuts when she's just about to defeat them, and she's going to get the points for winning the match, and then they rage quit and get out of there. So she's feeling your pain.
The best experience on Rocket League I can say is when you're playing a group of guys, and whoever scores, everybody goes, "Hey, nice shot, great pass, and good game." At the end, you don't say crap. These are the same probably kids that I just want to turn. I want to have the atom's power so I can shrink down to subatomic particles, go through the electric lines, pop out and just jack him right in the face. And I'm going like, you need to grow up.
This is exactly what I made this segment
because
for.
These same morons, there's a thing in Rocket League for when somebody makes an epic save, you can say, what a save, like, good job. Well, in Rocket League, that means like, you suck. I scored on you. What a save. I get so mad. And I know it's just coming from a 46-year-old angry man and their children. They beat me, and it makes me upset. All right, I'm done.
I got it. We got to go through some of these comments. Ronnie says that when you get angry, you sound like Seinfeld. Marianne talks about gamer rage. Ryan says you're just proving that you have better internet than them, and they can't help it if they drop off.
No, my internet's terrible, by the way. But what's funny is me and our friend Gary sometimes will play and we'll do terrible. Then somebody will quit, right? Like they just quit right on us. We usually love those games in competitive because they don't fill in an extra person there. They just make you play short. There's been so many games we come back and won because that moron left. I'd like to track them down in real life. They're getting their Starbucks and they go, Clyde, your Jamocha Grande latte's done. And I'd like to go, hey, Clyde, you're a wuss. We came back and won. You suck. Have
Nice to hear from you, Ryan. You probably didn't know what you were getting involved in here.
So Scott, I have a follow-up on you because I've been playing Gran Turismo.
Go ahead, man.
I've been playing Gran Turismo. So, and if anybody from Brazil is watching, no offense, this isn't personal about Brazilians in general, but the majority of the Brazilian players on Gran Turismo suck.
So you're saying in Brazil they can't drive?
Well, no. See, racing in Brazil is a big thing, and what I mean by they suck is that some of these players, like for instance, in the game, there's a sportsmanship rating and a driver rating. Okay, your driver rating increases by the number of cars you pass in each race. So if you can pass at least, like for me, I average 4 to 5 cars a race that I can pass. I may not win. I may start off 14th out of 16, but I'll increase my position by about 4 to 5 spots. That increases my driver rating. I'm fine with that. And then if I can go through without bumping anybody, that increases my sportsmanship rating. So what I mean by these Brazilians, and the first time I took notice of this, first time I took notice of this,
Dang, Steve.
yeah, somebody that I follow on the Gran Turismo page posted a car design, and it was this. We're talking like a Aston Martin race car, and all he did was he just put a solid color of that light green, Brazilian green, and the yellow, and the little symbol that's in their flag with the circle cross through on it. And his comment on there was Brazilians suck.
Dang.
Oh,
And that's all that he put on there.
Dang.
And then I started playing sport where you can play against everybody around the world, and noticed that every time I was in a race with Brazilians, they were knocking me off the road, off the track. Yes.
Oh.
And they were finishing in the top half of the group, but yet they were finishing top half of the group, but you could see where they were marked with all sorts of penalties to get there. So in other words,
Spicy King.
Yeah.
If you notice, we're gonna.
So
Scott gets the spicy crown.
So these Brazilians don't give a rat's you know what about their sportsmanship rating as long as their driver rating is up high. So
it's because they're passionate people.
Yeah,
well, there's only many professions in Brazil, anyways.
But there's also some of them. Half of them are also big rage quitters.
Wow.
So if they work their way up to the front, and they're being, excuse the expression, assholes to get there, and somebody decides that they're not going to put up with their crap and boots them off the road, they will quit. They'll quit. They'll rage quit.
Marianne's getting a good education on the
on racism.
No, there are some
the Gran Turismo.
There are some guys on there. There's some guys on there that every time I get in a race and I look and I say, are there Brazilians in here? And if I see them at the top of the list and their driver rating says A and their sportsmanship rating says S, I go, these guys are going to drive fair. But if I see them down below me and their driver rating is like C, D, their sportsmanship rating is C or D, but their driver rating is A or B. I was like, these guys are going to boot me off the road. And as soon as I see him come up from behind me, I move over to the side and let him go.
Thank you, Steve Shank, for saying that this is not racism; it's
regionalism. Exactly. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
I don't know. I've never interacted with any Brazilians in any video game that I'm aware of. But I will say I watch a lot of UFC. I watch a lot of mixed martial arts, and every single fighter that I've seen enter the ring to do battle, all of them are amazing competitors, both in the ring and even after the fight. Very very gracious. But the thing is, those guys are passionate, and girls, extremely passionate, extremely emotional about everything.
They are.
When they go after you, they're not going after you just physically. They're going after you emotionally, and they want to destroy you as an opponent. They want to destroy you. But once it's all said and done, they're the first ones to help you up off the mat.
That's true.
Shake your hand, hug you, raise your hand if they lose.
Right.
And I mean, that's
because they are martial artists first.
That's right. And
these are virtual race car drivers, not the same.
I was going to say, I know nothing
martial
about
arts
the video
takes
game
discipline and honor.
I know nothing about the online gamers. I can only go by the ones that I do know of, and those guys are fantastic.
Hey, I will admit that I rage quit once. In a race, and I think I told Steve Shank this story. And it's what they call a same make race. Okay, so everybody gets the same type of car. All the cars are set up the same way, and usually they suck. So it was a 4-lap race. Everybody's driving 1995 Porsche 911s with hard compound tires, which means they're not going to stick. So if you take the turn wrong, you're going to slide.
Yeah.
Okay. So I started off in the third position. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm starting off the third position. I earned that spot. Come to the first turn, and this Brazilian who started in 16th position knocked, I don't know how many cars out of the way, but he knocked me out of the way enough to put me down into the 16th position before the first turn of the first lap.
Damn.
Yeah. So here I am. I'm angry. And I'm working my way back up to trying to get back up to 15th, at least 15th position, because I'm 16 seconds behind 15th position. And to end this story, long story short, we get back to the start finish line, which is a long straight. And I see this car at the tail end that's kind of swerving, but he's got this red blinking light over the car, which means he's serving a bunch of penalties. And I noticed that it's this Brazilian guy who knocked me off the track in the first lap. And when you get these penalties, there's a point on the track where where they automatically make you serve this penalty. So this guy had worked up 8.5 seconds worth of penalties. So I was going to catch him on this straightaway. And so he served his penalty. And before we got back to that first turn at the end of that straightaway, as soon as he put on his brakes, guess what I did? I punted him through the first turn, and then I rage quit. It was worth it.
Holy cow.
Well, Shawn, you brought up like one
So
of
much
like
violence.
4 jobs in Brazil, because you got MMA fighter, soccer player, drug lord, and beautiful shemale. So that's the 4 jobs in Brazil.
Soccer play. You can't mention soccer players because, as far as I could tell, none of them are good sports. All of them are the most egotistical in any country. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I was trying to say that's soccer players, bro.
Right. I've never seen so many people incur so many injuries off of a wind glancing their ear.
I can't fault them for that. We can say that for a subject another time, but I can't fault them for that if the ref's going to call it. So,
Jerry says that rubbing is racing.
No, this isn't rubbing.
This is the pit maneuver.
Yeah.
This is Mad Max.
Yeah.
All right. I had something, but I think it will wait until next time. Shawn, did you have something that you wanted to say, or are we good on your comments?
I don't get mad at a lot of things. I have to be in the moment.
OMG. Is that what you're defaulting to?
all right, next subject.
Wow.
Oh, we touched this.
Wow.
We hit a touchy subject when we started mentioning soccer players. Steve is.
Steve says soccer is the best game on the planet. Scott's the same way.
Let me tell you something. I don't watch like
Teresa, she says
MLS or anything else soccer wise, but the World Cup is the best sporting event ever.
I agree with you on that one.
Ever. I can watch any game, and I will watch any game. And I mean, World Cup men or World Cup women, I love it all. I try to take off work and just consume as much as I can, because the fans are so passionate, and it's amazing.
What he said.
World Cup.
And let me add to that. Yes, absolutely. Whenever you're talking about the passion of the fan base,
I am the spicy king,
and the and the event and whatnot, you're absolutely right. There's nothing bigger. There's nothing greater.
I have to say though, and this isn't bias, the Japanese fans are the best because they clean up after themselves.
I'm sure that's true.
They're the people of the soil.
But as far as the soccer players themselves, I have yet to see a soccer player that impressed me with their demeanor or their sportsmanship.
That's fair.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying I just haven't seen it.
Scott, what work is that again that you could take off and watch the World Cup? He says
It's a wonderful job. I just don't fight crime for those couple of weeks. That's when the crime rate goes up,
right.
and then I can start acting, hunting those people down as big fat justice. That's when he comes out.
All right, we're getting on to the next segment that's going to do it, and here it comes. We used to have a segment that we called "What Are You Watching or Playing or Whatever, Reading." Now it's called On Blast. So, what is it that you want to plug? First off, I'm going to Walt.
Okay, so this weekend, I decided to invest into some videos, which I always do every weekend. I always invest in DVDs. And this week, I got Gundala.
Oh, nice.
Which is an Indonesian, it's based on an Indonesian comic book. And I give this, if you saw that I posted this on the Facebook page, I gave this the serious high five.
Nice.
Because by the end of this movie, you find out that the Indonesians are creating their own cinematic superhero verse.
Of course they are. And
I'll have to say that there are some comparisons as to how they set this up, and they took a little bit of Marvel and they took a little bit of DC and made it work. I'll just put it to you that way. It works so well for me that I'm like interested in actually reading the comic of this character. So
interesting.
Yeah. So
wait a minute. There's a comic?
Yes, this is based off of an Indonesian comic book.
Oh, now that's interesting.
A full-on universe of comic characters. It has when I say that they took bits and pieces of what Marvel did and what DC did, you see that from the very beginning of the movie when with the opening credits, because they show drawings of all the different characters, and I'm like, oh, there's you can tell that that's Gundala right off the beginning, but then here comes these other characters. So I was like, uh-oh. So
very cool.
Yeah. You'll
have to tell us how that is.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Oh, you have watched it? I
have watched it. I sat down and watched it as soon as I got home from the store. I stuck it in, and so as I said, I bought two movies, and the second movie is Enter the Fat Dragon with Donnie Yen.
Oh yeah,
cool.
And I kind of hate that I watched this.
Oh,
not that it's bad; it's a good movie. The reason why I hate that I watched this is that when you watch it, you find out that this is a sequel.
Is it?
And in the first movie, he wasn't fat. Other than that, it's a comedy, a grim comedy, because some of the things that happens violence wise, you're like, huh, that's not funny. But yeah, it's a good movie. Of course, it's Donnie Yen. Fight scenes are clean. So I recommend it. I can't tell you what the previous movie was. It's really kind of irrelevant. You really don't need to see the movie that was previous. They make mention of it, but it would be fun to watch it. So, but that's what I've watched over the deal, and the two movies I suggest that if you see it. In fact, both of them are on Amazon Prime. If you can rent on Amazon Prime or buy on Amazon Prime, they're both on there. So have at it.
There it is. Shawn, you're up next.
I finished watching the first season of The Umbrella Academy and completely watched the second season of The Umbrella Academy. Great show. I'm only disappointed that the third season isn't coming out next week. But being that I have finished Umbrella Academy, I went ahead and jumped onto The Boys, as we were talking about earlier, and threw myself into that chaotic mess. And yeah, I'm enjoying that one so far. So that's about all I got.
All right. Scott, what's up?
Hey, the Spicy King here. So I finished What We Do in the Shadows season 2, so I'm all caught up in that show. It is, I can't tell you guys enough, from a guy who hates vampires, and I don't want to hear about Vampire the Masquerade and True Blood, any of that stuff, but this little like mockumentary show is so funny, and I'm telling you, just watch it enough to get to the Jackie Daytona episode. That's all I'll say. If you can get there, you're going to be hooked for life.
Yes.
Like, I did nothing.
Jackie Daytona.
Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you how much an enjoyable that is to walk around and talk like that character and tease your girlfriend about it. So I watched that. I completed that. I'm almost done with the Transformers War on Cybertron. Hopefully this week I'll finish that up. As for like recommended reads, of course I could tell you more about 7 Secrets, but you could just go over to YouTube and watch my little like 4-minute review on it and see what you think about it. But I will tell you, I thought this was a very good read. You can check it out and see more.
Hang on, before you move on, those will be coming out this week. You've got 2 reviews. Oh, I'm sorry. You have that review. You will have other reviews coming out.
No, that was the one that was released not too long ago.
Right.
I played this little game called Marvel Battle World with my children. I got like the instruction booklet here, but that doesn't really show you anything. But there's going to be a box opening and then like a review of the little game that I did with my children. I played with my children and reviewed that game, and those will be coming out this week as well. So please get over there and give a like and comment and stuff. It's really a downer when people go, I really liked your thing. I thought that was really cool. I checked it out and bought it. It's like, then make a comment that's like, thanks for the recommendation. I went and bought this. It was awesome. Put that on there. For Walt, since Walt is on here, I wanted to put this up here.
Good.
Whoop, whoop. Snake Eyes Dead Game, IDW #1. I'm not going to review this, so I'm going to talk about it here. It's a comic with story and art by Rob Liefeld, working for IDW. He does the whole issue. Of course,
really?
I mean, I know there's a lot of people who hate Rob Liefeld, and that's okay. I bought it. I thought the art wasn't too bad. He really should pay his colorist a lot of money because he helps him a lot.
Yes.
It was an interesting, fun story. I mean, like when you're reading G.I. Joe comics, you kind of know what you're going to get anyway. So it was cool to see. It's kind of cool to see a big name on a G.I. Joe book. So, whether you like that big name or not, it's kind of cool to see that. So anyways, that's it.
All right. I want to talk about something that is happening in your local comic book store right now, which is what they call the summer of free comics. Back in the olden days, the before times.
The before times. Tell me a story, Granddad.
You had free comic book day like in early May. And, whatever the first weekend or whatever of May was.
It's always first Saturday in May.
Right. There you go. Then you could go and get free comic books all day. Well, because of the pandemic that must not be named, they are putting these comics out sporadically throughout the summer. And if you're interested, you can go, like I went to New World here locally, and they have a whole rack where you can pick, whatever it is that you want to get, and you can do it every time. So like you could go multiple times to your local comic book store and pick up free comics, folks. So I have 3 free comics that I'm going to talk about here today. The first one is X-Men, right?
Yeah, that's a good issue.
It's written by Hickman. It's got some really great artwork in it by Larraz, right? I mean, I could show it. You probably couldn't really see.
Right.
But it's pretty cool. It's good stuff. And then it has a backup Iron Man story, which is also pretty cool. Not bad if you're into the X-Men. Hard to beat free. Hard to beat free, folks.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
The second thing I picked up was this Bloodshot issue with a Vin Diesel photo cover. And let me just say outright, Shawn Wilson right now could do better artwork than is in the first 5 pages of this comic. Here it is. You see how terrible it is?
I don't know if that's a slight towards me or not.
No,
yeah,
I'm
that
saying,
sounded like a knock, dude. Like you're
It did kind of sound. Even
I'm
Shawn could
saying
do better
is
than this.
that they should have hired
Go on.
Shawn for the first 5 pages of this Bloodshot story, because it's a terrible story.
maybe
and
Vin Diesel's kid
It has
did it.
terrible art.
Oh, there you go.
That's the only thing that would make any sense whatsoever.
That's why it's free.
However, there is an Exo Man of War story that follows. Let's see if I can get this right here. And that story is excellent, and the artwork is excellent. It's like this kind of painted artwork, and it flashes between like the past and the future with the same character, and it has a really great story with it and stuff. So don't pick this up for Vin Diesel. Don't pick it up for the Bloodshot story. Pick this up for the Exo Man of War story, which is awesome.
So does the Exo Man of War story take place like in 2019 and 2020? So like before and after times?
No, it's like kind of Viking times, so it's a little bit before the before times.
We did a thing called movies. We sat together in groups without masks.
And finally, the last free comic that I got is something called Dark Arc, and it's by a company called Aftershock. And I didn't know what to expect with this thing. I never heard of it before, but I was kind of intrigued by the art. So I'm going to show some artwork right here. That's a kind of spider character that shows up in the deal. So the concept on Dark Arc is that it's set during the time of Noah's Ark. And Noah took care of all of the good creatures, and then all of the bad creatures went to the Dark Ark. And the problem with the Dark Ark is that all of these creatures want to eat each other, and they're all evil. And instead of having Noah that's running the show, they've got this sorcerer who basically tells everyone, if you mess with me or something, I'll zap you.
Okay,
it's dark. It's a dark story. It's awesome. It's got great artwork in it. And that would be my top recommendation. It's called Dark Arc.
Cool.
And it's free. Hard to beat free, folks. And that's our On Blast segment.
If anybody's doing those free comic book day comics, I suggest going to multiple stores. What I found out recently, even as of last week, and me and Jennifer hit a bunch of different little comic shops, and there's different stuff at different stores. So, because the comic shops, whether they're free or not, they pay for them. So if you're going to grab a handful of those, try to grab one book or something to support the store. And, but yeah, go to different shops. You'll get different stuff usually.
It's as good a reason as any to go to your local comic book shop, and don't just pick up the free stuff. Buy a comic or buy a graphic novel or something, because if you don't, those places are not going to be around anymore.
Right.
Ronnie says, sorry for my spiciness. I meant that as a compliment that Shawn could do a better job. Marianne says, big old yikes on that Bloodshot comic. It's terrible. It's really bad. I mean, is something that's going to lead your comic? What? Why? Is it because, I guess it's because the Bloodshot movie came out and they thought that Vin Diesel was going to get $400 million in the first weekend?
That's a terrible Vin Diesel cover to begin with.
It sure does.
Yeah.
You know who didn't pick that up? Who helps out at the comic store, can grab them for free? I didn't even pick it up because I was like, I don't want to see Vin Diesel. Good Lord.
You missed a great
He's like 4 foot tall
story.
Woo, he's earning that crown today.
He sure is.
No, but that is a bad Vin Diesel. Yeah.
He's 4 foot tall.
It's not good, folks. All right, our final segment. Here it comes. It's promo time. Who wants up? Who wants first? Let's go to let's go to Walt.
So other than my daily work, I've been asked to do some illustrations for a children's book. So I was asked about 2 weeks ago, and of course a week
That's
ago.
awesome, Walt.
Or excuse me, 2 weeks
congrats.
ago. It's also the same day that my computer went dead, and you all know that story.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a nightmare if you use your computer. It's real important.
Yeah. So luckily I got my computer up and running last week, got all new software downloaded. But yeah, I'm doing a children's story. Can't really talk about the subject matter. I can give you a little info about the characters. And if Dirk, if you can pull up that photo that I sent you.
Oh, wow. I don't have it ready to show on here. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can.
If you're going to do that, let me go to to Shawn, and I'll let you play with that.
Okay, I'll see if I can pull that up.
All right. Yeah, I dropped the ball. I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize you wanted.
Oh no, that's okay.
Come on, man. Jeez. What is this? Amateur hour? Come on.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Anyway, don't really have a whole lot to promote at the moment. Still working on some personal pieces that I'm trying to flesh out right at the moment. So I've got a handful of artwork I'm hoping to display on rankingstudios.com and also at the Facebook Ranking Studios. Be sure to check back every now and again, and hopefully I'll have that stuff done and up there for your viewing pleasure.
Okay.
We're going to go. Cool, man. I'm going to take that off of there and go back to Walt, and then add this to the stream. How about that?
So right there, you got my cousin and his wife, and their triplets.
Wow.
And we're doing a children's story based on the 3 little girls there. So
nice.
It's going to be one of their little adventures. I can't really talk about what the adventure's about, but yeah, I'm doing some.
What a great looking family!
I'm doing some caricatures on those little 3 little darlings there. My littlest cousins.
That's awesome, nice. Walt. I'm very excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's awesome.
Looking at something like 27 illustrations that I'm going to have to do. So
that's for real.
For real. So
yeah, and children's book illustrations.
Illustrations.
Do it like in watercolor, or what exactly is going on?
So, I'm going towards the feel of Pokemon. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, okay.
So they'll have a real children's anime look. So
very cool.
Nice.
All right, Scott, you're up.
Let me tell you something, brother. This weekend at Madison Square. No, not that type of promo, right? Okay. You can catch me.
Why not? Why not?
You can catch me over at bothdown.com, where I do a Blood Bowl podcast and have been for 7+ years. You can catch me on YouTube at Prime Reviews. I really would appreciate if you go and give it a thumbs up if you like it. And if you don't like it, email us some creative criticism, I'll take it,
Just quickly write down that YouTube channel and you'll get right over there.
Right. Really quick. You can do that. It'll be really awesome. If you type in Prime Reviews, you're going to get a bunch of people reviewing Amazon Prime. So be careful.
Amazon Prime or Prime Rib.
Right.
Exactly. So you can catch me there this week. They're already in the can, so to speak. They'll be released this week.
Taskforce Geek. Look up Taskforce Geek and you will find us.
They'll be on Taskforce Geek channel. There will be.
And while you're looking for us, subscribe to the damn channel.
Exactly.
We only need 14.
Other than that, if you need commissions or anything like that, even though I'm pretty booked up for the moment, if you pay a lot more than the other people, though, I can move you to the front of the line.
Wow, is that the way you pay?
I got kids to feed, brother. So, if you can find me at Facebook at Scott Prime.
Wowzers. I don't have much to promote. I go to my which I can't find. Oh, for the love of God. Here we go. Go to my Facebook new group there, Dirk Hooper Artworks. I'm going to be sharing some stuff on there. I have some commissions that I'm working on too right now, and I'll probably finish up one of those tonight, maybe. I'm pretty close on that, and I'm going to try to produce a big bunch of artwork here over the next few days. That's what I got. Does anyone else want to add anything to what has already happened?
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking about doing commissions as well, but I'm doing them on these, my little business cards.
Nice.
These are business cards I had printed up a few years ago.
Oh, and you can, we almost can't see that because it's kind of reflective there.
Yeah,
there's drawn on the back of
this
them?
This one is, there's a sketch that I started on.
There
it
it is.
There it is.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I had these printed out, there's how, all that stuff.
Dude, that's pretty salty.
So, in fact, any of you artists out there that are thinking about doing such things, if you're doing shows or anything, this is a great idea.
It's pretty good.
These are collector card size.
Yeah, I like it.
I had them done. I had about 250 of these done for about, I want to say $30, maybe $40. Two-sided, two color, one side, one color back side.
If you got any info on that, put it up on the Taskforce.
I will go through and find out. I do know that the name of the company is U Printing or something like that. So, and they keep your files on record. So if you need more, you just go in and just reorder. So, yeah. So
awesome.
Very, very cool.
If you want commissions, you can hit me up for that too.
Go ahead, Scott.
All right. Supposedly, and I know at one point we all watched pro wrestling. Supposedly this weekend, Vince McMahon or WWE is unveiling this like Thunderdome concept where they've rented out this arena and it's supposed to be really interactive with like virtual fans. I'm hoping like Shawn and Dirk, who will be here next week, will tune in and watch this because there's a NXT pay-per-view this weekend. There's also a SummerSlam pay-per-view, and if you two knuckleheads would like to come over, you're more than welcome to come watch it at my house. But
I would like this weekend.
It's this weekend. I would like to experience. It starts Friday on SmackDown, and then they're going to do it through the whole weekend. I'm very interested to see what this is like and see if it really helps out because the pro wrestling industry, you thought maybe like the storylines sucked the last 5 years. Well, they really suck when they don't have a crowd.
Oh yeah,
right.
They don't have anyone to play off of.
It is the lifeblood and fuel, whether they're good guys or bad guys. You need that live crowd. So I'm really hoping, because the storylines right now feel like they're just stale and they're kind of like they have a drink of water and they're doing this just to keep it moving.
Right.
They don't ever want to like progress either way because they want to save that good stuff for the live crowd. Right.
Right.
So I'm hoping this will inject some, I don't know, good storylines, I mean, the wrestling's not bad, but the wrestlers need people. That's what they feed off of. So I definitely want to talk about that next week. So you two knuckleheads who are here every week, I want you two to at least take a glimpse or do some research on it because I want it to be a topic next week.
The reason why I shared the Taskforce Geek Facebook group is because I shared an article about that from CBR today. And they're saying that it's going to take the NBA virtual fan idea, but it's going to be in the round. So it's going to look like an arena. And apparently it's going to be filled. It's going to be a bowl that is filled with like, I don't know how many LED screens that they said, but apparently it's going to be kind of like the holodeck on The Mandalorian, where it is a complete experience of virtual fans. So I don't know what that means.
It's going to be the old background from like a Nintendo 64 No Mercy.
Right.
People going.
It's intriguing. I mean, it's right out of Black Mirror, I think.
I've seen that that crowd that they have for the NBA games. I was like, wait a minute, those are real people.
They are real people,
and it's interesting. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do.
I am too. Yeah,
and
it's intriguing.
And the last thing I want to say is next week our guest should be from Ye Old Lasersmith. It's Brendan is going to come on with us from.
It's a great name.
Ye Old Lasersmith, and he's going to come and join us, and then even talk about him and his wife's business. So,
all right,
really excited to get him on, and hopefully it works out. I know we lost a guest tonight, but Walt, congrats! You did a wonderful job again.
Always.
You really are.
I don't call him a guest.
Glue that keeps us together, Walt.
I don't call Walt a guest. He's a contributor. Is anyone else have anything else they want to mention?
Well, you mentioned Casey J not being able to be with us. I just want to give a shout out to her and her family during whatever's going on. She didn't give us details, but whatever's going on there, our hearts are with you, and we hope everything works out okay.
And we'll have her back when she's ready.
Yeah,
for sure.
Anytime. I mean, it would have been, because we were on Twitch, it would have been great to have her tonight, since she is like the queen of Twitch. And it's the first time that we've ever been on Twitch, except for Walt.
Can I be the king of Twitch too?
I've been on Twitch a few times, so
you got all right. Does anyone else have something that they want to add, or are we taking it home?
Take us home, bro. Brah.
All right.
Brah.
Oh, wait a minute. We got a little thing that Steve says. Great fun again. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thanks for being here, bud.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone who chimed in tonight. Thank you very much. If you're a comic artist or illustrator, you'd like someone to look at your portfolio on video and give you some of our thoughts, Shawn and I are already ready to look at your work. Maybe we get Walt involved. And you can contact us at taskforcegeek@gmail.com. We already have someone on there. It's just Shawn and I got to figure out some time to do that first episode. Visit us on our Quora Task Force Geek space or Task Force Geek Facebook group, or our home at Ranking Studios. I'm not even going to bother with the links. I did those earlier. Thanks to everyone for watching this. Please leave a like or share wherever you see this. It makes a huge difference. And go to that YouTube channel, please, and subscribe. We would appreciate it. For Shawn, for Scott, for Walt, this is Dirk Hooper saying, dream hard.